Hello, and thank you for joining us. My name is Lisa Kingsbury, and I am the Director of Community Engagement at the Contra Costa School of Performing Arts. And we are here to take a tour of our facility. We're very sorry that you can't join us in person, but we hope that you'll see our facility and fall in love with the way we are. And to start off with, we're going to do a little bit of a history lesson. So in July of 2015, SPA was granted its charter by the Contra Costa County Office of Education. We then spent the next year making all of our plans, creating our school, and we opened for August of 2016 for our first year with about 300 students in 2 temporary spaces while we were searching for our forever home. Finally, we found our home, and after some initial construction, we moved in August 2017 into sort of phase 1 of the construction at 2730 Mitchell Drive. Then in August 2018, we opened up for our 3rd year, and by then we had completed 2 phases of construction, so approximately 2/3 of the school had been completed. And then in 2019, we opened for year 4 with our final phase of construction complete. So we then had access to the entire school, which was fantastic. In July of 2020, we received our 6-year WASC accreditation. And then in fact, this month, we are going up for our charter renewal for our next 5-year term. So it's been an exciting and a bit of a whirlwind 5 years for us. So this is the footprint of our school at 2730 Mitchell Drive. We have approximately 25 classroom spaces and approximately 6 performing arts spaces with some larger green areas around the outside for some outdoor activities. And then in the front, we have sort of a long hallway of administrative offices. But I don't want to bore you with what I think about the school. I brought along with me an expert, so I would like to introduce you to Catherine Cooper.
Thank you, Ms. Kingsbury. I'm Catherine Cooper, and I'm a senior here at SPA, and I'm a theater major. So let's come in, shall we? When you first enter our campus, we have a very large parking lot, many spaces for my fellow students to park who can drive. And then our front lobby is right here. We have about 3 pianos on campus, I believe, and one of them is right in the front lobby. As you come in, you can probably hear students playing it. And up front, you'll be greeted by Miss Melissa Kermesy, and then you can stroll down our big hallway. And here it is. There's a mural down at the bottom, painted by one of our PD teachers. So let's go down the first hallway to the left, the 100 wing. Here are some examples of the classrooms that you'll see on campus. We have collaborative seating in almost every classroom. This is a big help when we're working on group projects. I know I've had math in one of these rooms, and being able to sit with a group of my classmates was a big help. Further down the wing, you'll see Miss Montgomery's room and Miss Hyatt's room. Both of these are teacher designed spaces. I love coming in here because it's so evident the love the teachers have for their students, because they want to make the spaces the best possible spaces they can be for their style of teaching. And in this wing, we also have the vocal room. Personally, as a theater major, I don't spend much time here. But when I've worked on musicals in the past, the large classroom space has been great for ensemble work, and the small practice rooms allow students to work on solos and duet pieces without being interrupted by fellow classmates. Next, let's come to the multi-use room and a few of our art spaces. So the multi-use room has been used for dances, assemblies, rallies, many different things. It's a lunch space as well. And whenever you come in this room, there's always something fun going on, be it the energy of students having lunch and hanging out together, or an assembly put together by our amazing leadership team. This is a great room to be in. And this is my favorite space on campus, the Black Box Theater. I spend a lot of time here as a theater major, and it's incredible to see how the space is transformed every time we do a show. It's been an apocalyptic world, it's been a courtroom, it's been a small town for when we did a production of Footloose, and even when we're in rehearsals and the sets aren't complete, the energy and the excitement of everybody in the room makes it a great place to be. Now, this is the booth. This is where production and design majors control like the lights and the sound during productions, but it's also a place where theater and production and design meet. Sometimes we'll have production and design students come in and talk with theater students during classes to kind of collaborate. And speaking of production and design, this is our PD space. There's lots of different areas of this room, all meant for different purposes. Like if you're in a drawing class or in the safe, there's lots of costumes and props to work on. I've been in there many times and there's always something new. And then there's in the L, which is the middle bottom picture, there's lots and lots of art supplies for students to use. And now further down the wing, we have the science labs. And in science, we do lots of experiments depending on the class, and having the shelves and the counters in addition to the group table work makes it useful for when we do things like grab our beakers and experiment with dirt to find the chemical compound of it. Now down this wing, we have dance rooms. We have a locker room for all the dance students to store like costumes and dance things. I'm not a dancer. I don't know much about what they store, but I know that they need lockers. And in our dance studios, there's a dance floor that the dancers use to make sure they don't like slip when they're doing turns and things. As I said, I'm not a dancer, but I have been in a class in this room before, and doing movement with the big floor length mirrors was really fun. We also have dedicated spaces for our leadership and yearbook teams. As a yearbook editor, this is really great because we have a shelf full of yearbook inspiration books and a giant planner for all of the yearbook pages we do throughout the year. And in the leadership room, there's all the different supplies that they use in the rallies and different activities throughout the school. And it's really nice to have one place that concentrates all of those materials and things we need. We also have a college and career center. There's also a virtual space that we're using right now, which is personally very helpful as I navigate the college preparation space, but also having this dedicated space on campus for all the college information is really nice. I can just like drop in if I have a question throughout the day. Next, we have our instrumental rooms. I've really never been in here before. I think there was one time when we had a silent disco. We had like headphones that had songs playing and we were all dancing, but that's a different story. This is primarily the instrumental room. And as you can see, there's a large ensemble space and practice room similar to the vocal room. And there's an instrument lockers. So instrumentalists can store their instruments. We also have lots of outdoor spaces that on the side, we have these tables that you see, and we have a kind of backyard space, and these are used for lunches and activities. Like we had our first homecoming a couple years ago, and that was outside. We also, for one of our productions, when we did the musical, The Secret Garden, we put up a giant tent in the backyard. So that's another way that we've used this space. Thank you.
Well, thank you for visiting our space. And Catherine, thank you for taking us through it. Appreciate it very much. If you have any questions whatsoever about our facility or our spaces, please reach out, ask me any questions. I have been here since the beginning, just like Catherine. And you can reach me at lisa.kingsbury@cocospa.org. Thanks again. Yay! Thank you, Catherine. You are so